Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source. It's the backup channel back in Celeb Up and bringing you all the breaking news. In a rare interview from behind bars, R. Kelly spoke to Chicago radio host Rick Party, and R. Kelly set the record straight. He said that he did not father a child with his fiancée, Jocelyn Savage. Kelly said the Instagram account that claimed to be Savage's that posted photos of a newborn baby girl named Ava Lee Kelly was fake. Kelly went on to say, quote, "I can't name names. I can just say Jocelyn is my fiancée and I love her and she loves me and we're together. She's not in my case, none of that. She's not against me," end quote. When asked about the baby rumors, R. Kelly replied, quote, "Hell nah, she ain't have a child," end quote. Listen, I don't have time for R. Kelly, okay? Because I think that R. Kelly is trying to gaslight us the same way he was gaslighting all them little girls. First he comes out and he drops the album, "I Did It, I Admit It." Then he turns around and says that he didn't do it. Then he talks about how somebody stole his masters and that's really him, but he didn't give them permission to put it out, right? So then you got Jocelyn Savage coming out talking about this is R. Kelly's baby, and now he's saying it's not his baby. Then he sends the letter to the newsroom talking about all of his trials and tribulations in jail and how he doesn't want anybody to mess with his music. I don't have time for this dude because I believe that all of this is part of him trying to promote his album and get some free publicity. Nobody was thinking about R. Kelly, and R. Kelly was nowhere to be found for the longest until this dumb album dropped. R. Kelly needs to go back where he came from and stay there. Listen, really quick, I want to send my condolences and say R.I.P. to Bob Marley's grandson, Joseph Joe Mercer Marley, who was found dead in a car at the age of 31. Joseph, who is the son of Stephen Marley, was a musician in his own right, and as of now, we do not know exactly what happened, but as soon as we find out, we will let you know. Well, upon hearing about his death, many notable people came out and they wanted to share their condolences. One such person was reggae artist Shaggy. Shaggy said, quote, "So saddened by the news of the passing of this young king, sending prayers and condolences to the Marley family," end quote. Well, we definitely want to send our love to the Marley family. And you know what? We also want to thank them because they have given us years and years of wonderful, heartfelt, soulful music that we appreciate, that gives us joy every day. Well, that tragic news is pretty heavy, so let's talk about something a little lighter. I don't know if you know this or not, but a woman has recently gone viral on social media for claiming that Drizzy Drake flew her out to his crib for a little unprotected sex. The woman claims that she posted an Instagram story of herself in lingerie in early November and tagged Drake with small font. And after he saw it, he just could not resist her beauty and he DM'd her right away. She says they exchanged numbers and spoke on the phone, and then he flew her out 3 days later. She says that when she got to his crib, Drake made her sign an NDA that told her what she could and could not say. Well, you can just throw that NDA out the window because this chick ain't doing nothing but talking. When discussing her brief interlude with Drake, she said, quote, "So when I get in the house, we just sitting in the house chilling, talking, and he kept on rubbing on my stomach and then kept on asking questions like, 'Do you want kids?' And I'm like, 'What you trying to say? If you want a baby mama me, just say it," end quote. Okay, so after sharing that information, she says her and Drake got busy and she found out that he didn't use protection. She said, quote, "Y'all know we did what we did. I don't have to go into detail about that because it's self-explanatory. But he didn't use protection, which was a little weird. But y'all know I'm just going with the flow," end quote. The woman then went on to allege that Drake got aggressive with her and kicked her out of his house after she tried to record him in bed. She said, quote, "As soon as he see me recording him, he slapped my phone out my hand. I'm not even gonna lie, I got a little scared because that slap was aggressive," end quote. Well, apparently, Drake saw what this chick was saying online, and he got online too. And he was like, absolutely not, because he doesn't want anybody to think that he stuck his hot dog in that bun without putting any condiments on it first. When talking about this chick, Drake said, quote, "Never met, never spoke, never flew. I hope people start doing more with the one life we are given. Ish is sad out here," end quote. Listen, this sounds like a tall tale to me, but it might not be, because if you remember, Drake admitted to being open to unprotected sex in his 10 snipe commandments list that he put out with French Montana in 2016. Drake said, quote, "Thou shalt only splash unprotected if the ting is a must splash, or you are too fry, or you trust the vibe, or you plan to keep the vibe for a minimum of 6 months with 4 interactions within the allotted time period." End quote. Yo, Drake is a hot mess, okay? Listen, I don't understand this, because apparently one of these two people are lying, okay? And if there's one thing that I cannot stand when people lie on their D or their coochie. I don't understand it. From personal experience, I would never lie and say that I slept with somebody that I didn't sleep with. Why? Because there is no one that incredible, that sensational, that like amazing that I would feel the need to say that I got into bed with them when I really didn't. I don't understand why there's so many dudes out there and so many females out there running around talking about they got into bed with people who they never got into bed with. I mean, is your ego so low that you would have to do that? I mean, what's the purpose? And then on the other end of the spectrum, you got all these people out here suffering from the Megan Thee Stallion syndrome, who are embarrassed to the people they got into bed with, and they really don't want you to know who they got in the bed with. Listen, for 2023, let's make a New Year's resolution. Do not sleep with anybody you're embarrassed with, and don't lie on your coochie or your D. Do not say that you slept with somebody that you did not sleep with, because that right there is a hot freaking mess. But while we're talking about a hot mess, let's discuss your boy Keith, the most beautifulest thing in the world, Murray. I used to have mad respect for this dude, but now his stock has just dropped in my book, because he just recently did an interview with The Art of the Dialogue in which he felt compelled to discuss the fact that he got freaky deaky with Foxy Brown back in the day when she was still in a relationship with Corrupt. Listen, Keith Murray said he took her to the hotel and he was getting so explicit that I can't even tell you what he said, because I would get canceled from YouTube, okay? They would never play the video. That's how explicit it was. Listen, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. Is there something in the water? Are these dudes going through like a midlife crisis? Because I don't understand how all of these old school 50-something-year-old rappers all of a sudden are coming on YouTube to share about who they smashed back in the day. I'm like, listen, if you're still reminiscing about that chick, your life must not be going too well, okay? And honestly, if that is your crowning achievement and you gotta talk about that on the interview, I mean, you're pretty much a loser. Let me say this. If you were so stuck in the past that you have to relive those experiences just to get by, look, think about it in your head. You don't have to verbalize those things out loud. I don't know. There's gotta be a statute of limitations. But listen, this is why I respect like the older artists, you know what I'm saying? You didn't see Barry White, Isaac Hayes, Curtis Mayfield, and Al Green running around talking about they smashed Minnie Riperton, Gladys Knight, Dionne Warwick, and Aretha Franklin, because you gotta put some respect on it. Listen, even Barry Gordy wasn't running around talking about, yeah, I took Diana Ross to the telly. That's crazy. Now, speaking about something that's crazy, if you're like me, you have been watching the YSL Young Thug RICO preliminary hearings on TV, and you know that this week there was an outbreak of COVID in the courtroom. While they're still getting a little something done, it's my guess that we have not seen as many plea deals this week as we might have had the COVID not hit. On the real, I don't understand. Why is everybody acting like the pandemic is actually over? Like your man Teddy Riley said in the iconic R&B classic Groove Me, it ain't over. It's not over. The party's not over. I fully understand that we've all got things to do, and you should do them, but make sure you mask up, vax up, or herb up. I mean, do whatever you have to do to protect yourself. Just don't act like there's nothing going on out there, because that can be hazardous to your health. Well, since there's not a whole lot to talk about with the Young Thug situation, let's talk about your girl Cardi B. On top of everything else that Cardi B has been going through, she has also been dealing with a lawsuit. A body art model named Kevin Brophy Jr. sued Cardi B for $5 million because he claims that she used an image of his back tattoo and likeness without his permission on the cover of her 2016 mixtape Gangsta B Music Volume 1. On the cover of the mixtape, Cardi can be seen sitting in a black limousine with a male model kneeling in front of her and doing a little something that shall remain nameless. Brophy claims that Cardi used his art in his body without his approval. Brophy said, quote, "It felt like my Michelangelo was stolen off the wall and just literally ripped off and robbed and just put wherever these people wanted to put it. It looks like I'm going down on somebody who's not my wife, somebody who's not my partner, an image that I never signed off on, ever. Being a father of two and a devoted husband and a man of faith as well. This goes against everything that I stand for, and I would never ever sign off on something like this." End quote. Well, apparently, the jury that listened to this case was not feeling this dude, so they sided with Cardi. But he was not happy with that decision, so he appealed it and brought the case back to court, and now this time a judge took a look at it. And after the judge looked at it, he also sided with Cardi. The judge said, quote, "Brophy's tattoo was but one tattoo on the back of the model, who was himself but one part of a suggestive portrayal of a man with his head between Cardi B's legs while she was in the back seat of a vehicle and drank an alcoholic beverage." End quote. The judge continued on to say, quote, "The purpose," Cardi B testified, "was to show her in control, reversing traditional gender roles. It is hard to see how the cover's economic value derived at all from Brophy's tattoo. Despite any contrary evidence that Brophy presented, the jury was within reason to find that the use of the tattoo was transformative." End quote. Well, not only did the judge kill Brophy's dreams of getting $5 million from Cardi, but he also told the dude, you gotta pay for her legal bills too. You gotta pay for the attorney and you gotta pay for any other coins that she spent on this frivolous lawsuit. I don't know. People better think twice before trying to bring Cardi to court, because now she's 2-0? First she took Tasha K for the bag, and now she got this dude too? Look, you can say whatever you want about Cardi B's rap game, but there's no denying that her legal game is on point. Hey yo, check this out. Recently Snoop Doggy Dogg did an interview with 85 South Comedy Show, and while he was doing the interview, Snoop started talking about how he felt about Instagram when the social media app first started out. Snoop said, quote, "I'm like, this ish is goofy, cause I could just post anything. Then I said, oh wait a minute, I could post some ish I'm selling, or some ish I want you to show up to, or some ish I'm promoting, or a positive message. Then I started thinking like a businessman." End quote. Snoop Doggy Dogg continued on to say, quote, "Then the ninjas from Instagram do an interview and say, hey man, our company was regular until one celebrity got behind it. And then we became a $100 billion company. And that celebrity was Snoop Doggy Dogg." End quote. After Snoop Doggy Dogg shared that story, he went on to give a little advice to everyone. Snoop Doggy Dogg said, quote, "I didn't have the game to get a piece of the pie. Now we know better. You know better. You do better. So moving forward, to the brothers and sisters out there watching, when you're valuable, know your value. Ask for equity. Ask for a piece of the pie. Don't take that little snapback they want to throw you up front. You want a piece of the pie to make sure that you're getting a piece of it after it continues to grow. If you grow a brand, you should be part of the brand." End quote. Listen, if you're trying to start a business or be part of a business, I think you better listen to Snoop Doggy Dogg, because he's been in the business long enough to know all of the tricks of the trade. Check it out. Recently, Michael Jai White was on Vlad TV, and he said that he was originally offered the role of Ghost in 50 Cent's Power Universe, but due to a scheduling conflict, Omari Hardwick ended up getting the role. Michael Jai White said, quote, That's something that I've heard from the producers. Yeah, I've heard this. I don't know how much truth there is to it. There had been an offer. Some things get offered to you, but you have to be available to do it. End quote. According to Michael Jai White, he was too busy doing a Tyler Perry sitcom than to play the part of Ghost in Power. And you know what? I am actually pretty glad that Michael Jai White was busy, because I think Amari Hardwick did his thing, and I can't imagine Michael Jai White playing that part. I don't know. Could you see him playing that part? Let me know what you think in the comments. Hey yo, check this out. This week, Megan Thee Stallion has won another court victory. She won a very important early victory in the $1 million legal battle with 1501 Certified Entertainment. According to Rolling Stone, a Texas judge sided with Megan by rejecting 1501's request to rule that her 2021 project, Something for the Hotties, does not qualify as an album under her contract. In a one-page motion, the judge ruled that Megan's $1 million lawsuit against the label can go forward and go to trial. If Megan Thee Stallion is successful in this case, it means that she has fulfilled her contractual obligations with 1501 and she can officially be released from the label. Listen, I don't even know if I can take another Megan Thee Stallion trial. Yo, I'm done. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.